Okay, Red Dragon, Green Crescent, playing part of the Green or Red Dragon scenario in the Western Pacific here. Definitely some time, I think, at this point. Now I'm noticing, obviously, as pretty much always happens at this point in a new game. Now I'm starting to pay attention to and notice the peculiarities and the details of the units, and then I might as well do a whole rundown of the operations, because the next step would be for me to choose the U.S. side's operation, and I still just don't know what to do exactly. But so this is all very interesting. The units are interesting. I mean, you know, the geography is interesting too. I mean, I guess to study in this case. I mean, obviously the geography is just there, but that's interesting. I think that's all by way of introduction. So what I was noticing when I was trying to figure out what I want to do next for the Americans is the comparisons, right? So I've got 3 U.S. carriers. I've got a CVN here at Okinawa. I've got a CVN here at Guam. The Marianas, I guess I should say Marianas. The Marianas. So I've got another CVN there, and then I've got a CVX down here in Central Philippines Sea. I would expect the CVX. So CVX in game terms is, yeah, future aircraft carrier. That's what I thought. So this is basically meant to be a future improvement over the CVN. So let me see if I can remember where I put them as well. The CVX is in Central Philippines. All right, so here's the CVN. Here's the CVN alongside the CVX. So 2 and 3 is it's anti-ground. I don't know why. Let me see if they're all like this. Okay, it looks like they're all... Okay, they're all red font. I'm looking here. Red font. Okay, alright, they're all red font on white background, so even though it's night... Oh, this is so good. Every war game should do this. Use the same layout for all your pieces. But anyways, it looks like red writing on white black background is your ground, even though ground is always at the top left. So this is anti-ground if the target is a ground unit, yeah. So the next one over, the top right, so wait, the CVN is 2, so 2 or less to take out a ground unit, 3 or less to take out a ground unit with the CVX. 5 is anti-air, which you would expect a carrier to have a high value, so 5 for the CVN, 6 for the CVX. Now I don't know what you do. What do you do? Because you're rolling a 1d6. So I don't know. I don't know in this game. It's hard for me to believe that this is an automatic hit. So how do you handle when your 2-hit number is 6? Because it's supposed to be that number or less to kill the target. Okay, so they're the same on the surface. So this is subsurface. Oh, okay. Subsurface is always black on white background. I just noticed that. Okay, yeah. Okay, they're all like that. So black on white background is a subsurface, anti-submarine, and finally anti-surface, naval anti-surface ship is what they call it. And I'm not surprised they're the same, 5555. So the CVX is better on anti-land and anti-air. That makes sense. Now, let's see. Did I forget again? CVX, Philippines. All right, yep, that's right. Okay, so the Chinese CVG, so what's a G? Hybrid carrier cruiser is what that is. CVG, hybrid carrier cruiser. Even the American, I should have left this down here. Compare this to the American CVN. Interesting that the anti-ship is the same, 5.5. Otherwise, they're very, well, I guess 2 out of 4 are very different. Well, actually, anti-ground is 1, 2 for the Americans. Well, anyways, this is the big one, subsurface. So of note, there's something, I'm not a Navy, not that knowledgeable on all stuff naval, so something obviously about the American carrier group. I assume this is a carrier group with a lot of stuff. Well, I always assumed that. Anyways, the CVN ready for war, whatever that means, obviously has a really strong anti-submarine, anti-subsurface capability. That is a good thing to know. But then again, I just find this interesting because I've heard naval officers tell me that there's all sorts of dire circumstances with respect to U.S. anti-submarine warfare capabilities. So I mean, that might be true, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a more narrow issue or something. But I'm looking across the board for the Americans for subsurface, so anti-submarine ASW warfare. We got 4, 5, that's high. 4, 5, 4, high. Even the SAG, U.S. SAG, Surface Action Group, has a 3, and that's a 50-50. That's the Chinese SAG has a 2. Still, I'm looking 5, 5, 4. This is all very high. So the U.S. side just has really strong anti-submarine warfare, ASW capabilities. So I guess the corollary to that is how, if you're playing the Chinese side, how do you use your subs so they survive? So there's that. Then, yeah, I did compare the SAGs. The Chinese SAG really is pretty unimpressive. 1 anti-ground, 3 anti-air, 3 anti-surface, and 2 anti-subsurface. That's really kind of lackluster. So let's see, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 altogether. And yeah, the U.S. SAG, well, this one anyways, has a total of 14. So 50% better if you think of it in those raw number terms. Now, I'll just go ahead and say, and it's interesting, not all these are the same. I have no idea what this represents, but let me show you what I'm talking about. So these are 2 U.S. SAGs, Surface Action Groups. The numbers are all the same, except for some reason this one has a subsurface or anti-submarine value of 3. This one has a 4. I don't know, is that supposed to represent actual proportional numbers of different, like, different classes of ships, or I don't know. What if there are design notes somewhere actually, or maybe online, a discussion of this? But I just noticed when I was setting up, these are not identical, even when the unit is labeled the same. Now I definitely noticed that with the ships. Is that true of the planes? There's an F-35. There shouldn't be a lot of variation on an F-35, frankly. Okay, I don't see a lot of multiples of the same type. 1302, 1302, 1402, 1402. I don't know. Very peculiar. Not sure what to make of that. Here's J10s, 1402, 1402. See, the Chinese units seem to be more. Why would they be more uniform? I'm not sure. Is an SS 00230? Okay, nope. So, why is it something about the ships? Anyways, that's that.